Good evening, YouTubers. Dave here from Funky Sloth Comic and Collectibles, and today is Sunday, April 4th, 2021. Hope everyone is staying safe and doing well, and hope everyone had a happy Easter. Quick weather report, as I always do here. Today it got up to 45. Kind of windy, but mostly sunny, but spring is coming, and that's always, like I keep saying, a good thing. As you can see, I have my son Jared here today to go over the topics we're going to be talking about. Being today is a Sunday, it's time for my weekly movie TV talk video, and today we have two main topics and then two big topics. And we might as well just get right into it. The first topic today is the last trailer for Black Widow dropped. It dropped the other day, and I have to say it was okay. Again, like I've said in the past, I'm not overly excited for the movie. I don't think Black Widow deserves a standalone movie. She's great in other movies that the MCU has done, but as a standalone, I'm just not excited about it. What I am excited about in this movie, though, is you get Red Guardian, played by David Harbour. And then you get the introduction of Taskmaster also in live action, which is going to be awesome. And Taskmaster is a great villain. Hopefully they do it right in the movie.
I didn't watch the trailer. I'm late to the game, but I'm excited for the movie. I wish this could have come out after Disney Plus started doing their shows. I think this would have been a better
TV show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I would
like a 6-episode Falcon Winter Soldier kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd rather see it as a TV show than a movie. Yeah, like you said, like a six episode TV show. Yeah, I'd watch that over going to. I won't go to the movies to see this. I'll wait till it comes out.
But I love David Harbour too.
David Harbour's awesome.
He was one of the few only good things in that really bad Hellboy movie.
He was the only good thing in that movie.
Ian McShane's fun.
Yeah, but overall, the only good thing about that crap show of a movie was David Harbour as Hellboy.
Yeah.
All right.
Poor man.
Topic number 2. Witcher Season 2 has finally wrapped production. Which is a good thing, as this is one of the most anticipated shows I have for this year. For the rest of this year, anyways. A lot of the other shows I've already seen have come out. This production has been shut down a few times because of the COVID-19 crap. And I think they're saying maybe December when this comes out. I would probably think here we are in April, probably January, February, and it wouldn't surprise me if they even pushed it longer into 2022, but I just want to see it because season 1 of Witcher was awesome.
I loved it. First couple episodes took me a minute because they kept doing that.
Oh yeah, because you're actually going backwards in time.
Yeah, or backwards and forward. Yeah.
But Henry Cavill's awesome as Geralt.
He's such a nerd in real life, and he's...
But Henry Cavill's awesome in the role.
Oh, he's so
Henry Cavill's awesome as Superman. He's awesome.
Well, he's one of those few big name actors that truly likes being a nerd. He talks about how he got the role and he ignored the phone call to get Superman. Yeah. Because he was playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. One of the first roles I ever saw him in was The Tudors, which was 10 years ago, and he was awesome in that. And then he was in Immortals. Yeah. Then he was in Sandcastle, which nobody knows about. I think that was just a direct release to Netflix, which was awesome. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this show because Witcher's awesome.
Oh yeah,
such a good show.
I forgot who they cast too. Oh, one of the Nicholsons, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be the previous Witcher or the one that he trained with or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like his sensei or whatever.
I'm not versed in that lore.
Yeah. All right. Main topic, number 1. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 3. This is clearly my favorite episode of the season so far. I mean, it had a good story, working off what we've been going on. This is by far the best one so far. And they had great action scenes in this one too. And you got to see a character who was not overly treated that well in the movie Civil War. And we'll talk about him in a minute, but I thought he was awesome in this show.
Yeah, it's my second favorite episode, but for having all the action you were just talking about, it's the first episode without a set piece action scene. It's the first episode you had the helicopter Falcon scene. Second episode, you had the truck fight with Cap and new Cap. This one was the first scene where you didn't have a special effect driven fight.
You know what?
It was much more an espionage.
You know what also made this a good episode for me? Very, very little of the new Cap.
Oh, see, I like him.
I like him, but I don't like what they're doing with it. Because I know what they're doing. They're trying to make him look like he's going to be the next Captain America. I don't think he's going to be. He's going to be U.S. Agent. U.S. Agent is actually kind of a prick. And you can see where this guy is actually a prick.
I want him to still be good. Like, more gray area.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to just be like, oh, he's in there.
Okay, let's digress back to... We'll start back here. So we start off this episode with Bucky and Sam at the maximum security prison in Germany. And they're there to talk to Zemo. If you remember, Zemo was in Captain America Civil War. Who was the character I just said, who I thought didn't get all that great a showing in that movie. I think because you really didn't even see how bad this guy really is.
Yeah.
So they're there to see Zemo because they think he might have information on the super soldier serum. He really doesn't give them that much information while he was there. So, I'm not... Did Bucky actually help him get out of jail?
I believe so. I think everything you saw was real. So he flipped that
Bucky and Sam are leaving, and then next thing you know, Zemo there's a riot in prison. Bucky hands a prisoner a note.
It says he's going to kill you tonight.
Yeah.
You kill him first.
Yeah. So he must have got that from Zemo.
I think to
give to those prisoners, which caused the fight, and then Zemo was able to knock out that guard and get into his uniform and leave, which I kind of easy, but I'll go with it.
I get it. It's only three more episodes left.
Yeah,
they kind of got.
So Zemo gets out of jail, and he meets Bucky and Sam in actually one of his old garage where he has some awesome old cars. I mean, awesome. He opens up one car and it's just full of weapons and all these little things, but what Bucky and Sam didn't see him grab was the mask.
Yeah, which is it his or is it going to have some family thing to it? Because you never saw him wear it before.
No, but if you the comics, that's Zemo's
but I'm wondering if
mask.
they're working in something like he used it doing something else, or because you never saw him wear it before.
I saw him grab the mask, and I was hoping that he would wear it. Yes. So. They leave there, and they go off to the MCU's fictional island of the Pacific Rim island. What's it called?
Madripoor.
Madripoor?
Yeah, Madripoor.
So they go there, and then they ultimately end up in Latvia.
Which, if Madripoor is a big X-Men thing.
Right.
That's where Wolverine hung out a lot, so that's kind of our first...
So you're going to see, I think in the next year or two, you're going to see an X-Men character introduced.
Oh, yeah.
In one of these shows.
I don't think they would have even been able to use that city, if I'm correct, before the deal, right? Because that would have been an X-Men.
That would have been Fox. That would have been a Fox property. Yeah.
It's the first real thing they've technically brought in.
Yeah. So they end up in Latvia. This is actually a cool part of this. It's like this underground world that's just like a big sea of just nightlife. Fluorescent lights, neon lights. It was kind of cool.
John Wick-esque.
Yeah, that where they killed the lady there, that bar scene there.
Yeah, the second one, right?
Yeah, the second one. And so they're there looking for a lady by the name of Selba. Selba or Selma or something like that. I can't remember her name. I think it's Selba. But they have Sam's character. He's portraying Conrad Mack, who in the comics is actually called Smiling Tiger. Who is actually a superhuman group that took place in the MCU in the Folding Circle in Vietnam era MCU, not MCU, but Marvel Comics. And they have Bucky portraying his old self as the Winter Soldier. Which was weird because Zemo, he said he can't get to him. And when Zemo said attack...
He fell right back in.
He friggin' attacked. And he cleaned the house on those guys in that bar. When Zemo said it. So, I don't think he's been completely wash clean of the old Winter Soldier.
I think it's
stuff.
a lot of these. What we've learned in WandaVision is this: it has a lot to do with the psyche of these heroes. I think it's going to be something just as simple as he feels more at peace when he's controlled. Because it's easier for him to just punch things. Because
he literally looked at Zemo and said, you have no control over me anymore. And then when he said, well, you got to do as I tell you so they think you're the Winter Soldier. But when he said attack, it was instant. Yeah, and then when he said stop, he stopped. And
Sam gives him that look of, you okay? And he just goes...
Yeah. So that was actually one of the best scenes so far in all 3 episodes, in my opinion. But he cleaned house with these guys in the bar. When Zemo said attack, he just absolutely cleaned house.
And do we always get the metal arm effects, the sounds? Or you hear, I feel like you hear the sounds more when he's being bad.
A bad guy, yeah. I think so.
I don't know. Yeah.
So they had the bar scene, the fight, and they actually end up going up to meet this lady. And her name is Selba.
Okay.
And she gets talking to him about a Dr. Nagel who has more information on the serum.
I'm trying to remember his full name.
But as this is all going on, you got to remember one thing about Sam's character as Conrad Mack. Next thing you know, his cell phone rings, and they all look at him like, you idiot. So he's trying to talk to his sister? His sister, trying to play cool like nothing's going on, and then at the end of the conversation, she says like something like, okay, Sam, or something.
Yeah.
And they all look at him like, who's Sam? And that's when they realize, okay, this is Falcon. And this is not the Winter Soldier they think. It's actually Bucky Barnes. But as she says to kill him, she gets shot. And then the 3, Zemo, Bucky, and Sam, clean the house in there. And as they're running through, people are shooting him. They set up... how they got that done so quick, that bounty on him?
Well, it's, like I said, very John Wick.
Yeah. It was like they hit a button and boom. People, it was like $3 million?
Yeah, something like that.
$3 million, and it was out. And people are already starting to try to kill him. They weren't even out of the bar yet.
But I feel like they're also just shooting blindly. Like, I'm going to kill somebody, and if I get the right one, I get the money.
But then they get out into the alleyway, and people are being shot around them. They don't know who it is. And then, which was the cool part of this, was you actually got to see Peggy Carter.
No, Sharon.
Yeah. Sorry. Peggy.
Agent 13?
Yeah, Agent Sharon Carter from Civil War. Who, if you really think about the whole Sharon Carter and Peggy Carter, can be kind of weird with Captain America.
Very.
Because he's made out with both of them, and that's the daughter.
That'd be his niece.
Yeah,
So she would have made out with future younger version of her uncle Steve.
Yeah. Actually, one of the best scenes in that movie when they were making out, and Bucky and Sam were in the car.
My boy.
Yeah. That was awesome. And then, so the 3 of them already know where they got to head, and Sharon cannot. She says she can't go back to the States because of everything that went on after Civil War. So you see, we're all the way back to Civil War tie-ins here. This is what I love about the MCU. You have to know what happened in all 23 movies eventually to know what's going on because they all intertwine with each other. That's what's awesome about the MCU movies.
Especially this episode. This episode was very much...
Oh, yeah.
Remember Civil War? Yeah. You better.
So they get talking, and then they end up... They know where they got to go. They go to this huge shipping yard, and it's just full of shipping containers. But they had a number. They found that shipping container. They open it up, and it's empty. Zemo and them go in. I'm thinking, when they all walked in, I thought somebody was going to shut the door on them. I'm like, oh, don't go in. You're going to shut... Well, Zemo goes to the back wall and sees where you can push on it. He pushes on it. They go up these stairs, and here's another... Like up in the shipping containers, there's a lab. And there's that doctor... What's his name again? Nagel.
Yeah, I forget the last name.
So they get going on it and talking, and he's saying, yeah, I'm making the serum, blah, 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 blah. And... the whole time is these bounty hunters, how the hell they found... These are just some of the things that... These little bits and pieces, like how they know they were there.
Your sure moments you have to have with Marvel films and stuff. Oh, sure, whatever.
So they come and they surround into place and they let loose an RPG into the shipping container. Blows up. And you're seeing actually the fire and how it really wants to blow because you can see the chemicals starting to shake and all that. And Nagel gets injured. Well, they're trying to get more questions and answers out of him. And Zemo comes over and pops him right in the head. Shoots him.
Well, he explained how you get your little time back to Isaiah Bradley, which was why the last episode was my favorite. I loved episode 2. But he talks about how they had that one super soldier serum that they were working on, and that's apparently probably Isaiah's blood. But he's the same doctor from the what is that? Red, White, and Black, the comic?
Yeah.
The Isaiah Bradley one. He's the doctor that actually worked on him in that comic. Not same, of course, but your little nod.
Yeah.
But no, Zemo... I don't know what he's doing. Is he playing the long con? Or...
He's a bad guy.
Because he talking about the power broker.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the power broker.
There's a few. Sharon's also confused.
Well, yeah, we'll get to her in a second. So, here it is. Zemo comes around the corner. They're trying to finish up getting questions out of him and just shoots Dr. Nagel. Done. And then it really blows up. He goes a separate direction than Bucky, Sam, and Sharon. You're thinking he's taking off and leaving. And they're fighting it out. Next thing you know, you see Zemo standing up on top of the shipping containers. He pulls out the hood and he pulls it down. I was like, oh shit, yeah. Because I love that look of Zemo in the comics. So, in this mask and everything looked the part. It was good. That part there was one of my favorite parts of the show so far also. So, he takes out the remaining bounty hunters. And you think he's leaving. Well, he goes around the corner and there's it's like a 1967 Pontiac GTO convertible. Pulls around, picks up the guys. They go to drop off Sharon and say, hey, you can stick with us and we can go back. And she's like, no, I got to figure things out here.
But give me that partner.
Yeah. And as they drive off, she gets on the phone and says, we have 2 big problems. So... who's she talking to?
And who trained her, for one?
Oh,
she was insane.
Oh, yeah.
And that was some pushing the PG-13 kills there.
Yeah.
I mean, Bucky stabs a guy with a metal pipe through the chest.
Yeah.
She's point-blanking people.
Yeah. The only
like
thing,
John
they didn't show the blood, so they saved themselves there.
Neck cracks.
Yeah.
I mean,
so... she calls these people and says, we have 2 huge problems. And then we go to where Bucky's walking down these back streets. And he's looking for somebody. And there's this little black, marble stone with the design on it. And I was wondering if that was something to do with Wakanda, with the designs. Didn't think it. And then he he goes, I think you dropped something.
Finds one more. And then...
yeah, and he turns around and there's...
Ao?
Ao.
Ao, yeah.
Who is a member of the Dora Milaje, which is the Wakandan female special forces. And she says, where's Zemo?
She's also the one that gives us one of our coolest scenes in Civil War.
Yeah.
Move, or you will be moved.
Yeah.
And you got Chadwick, or Black Panther. As much as I would love to see that.
Yeah. So, Bucky is in a tough place. He's trying to keep Zemo for information. But the Wakandans want Zemo's ass.
A lot of people, probably.
For killing King...
not T'Chaka.
No.
Wow.
I can't remember his name now. I'm a brain cramp. But...
Papa Panther.
Yeah, Papa Panther. So, the Wakandans want his ass, but Bucky needs him for the information on the super serum. So that's where we leave off.
They came to White Wolf.
Yep. No, that's another thing. They mentioned that. White Wolf. So I'm wondering if he's going to become the White Wolf.
That or
pure White Wolf.
It's going to be interesting to see. You know that he must have gotten very close. He had to do some missions with them. He had to... He got deep in with Wakandan culture and everything. To be nicknamed, I feel like, especially in cultures like that, to get a name from them must be pretty...
But I'm hoping he becomes the White Wolf because that would be cool. That would be really cool. Because he can't be the Winter Soldier.
I know, I just feel like...
He can't be the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier is a Hydra. So he's got to eventually become
the name for himself.
So that's where we leave off. So looking forward to episode number 4. The big thing for this week, main topic number 2, Godzilla versus Kong. The much anticipated Godzilla versus Kong. It was released on Wednesday on HBO Max and in the theaters, and it did really well at the theaters.
Almost 10 million?
No.
It was like 9.6 on just Wednesday.
Yeah, it had 39 million up until Saturday morning.
Wow.
This is pandemic, so it did really well. And I don't think they were expecting that.
No, King of the Monsters only made, what, 47?
Yeah.
Its
Total.
opening weekend?
So it's going to be a $60-70 million movie when it's all said and done, if not more. I can say I liked the movie, but I didn't love it. And I'll give my grade at the end. And Jared will too. We'll start off by the good. Godzilla looked awesome.
Very blue this time. You notice?
Yeah.
Very blue.
But he looked great. And his emotions, even though it's a lizard, you could tell he was out on a mission.
Godzilla's like that really... Honestly, he's a little bit of a Conor McGregor. He's got that cocky grin to him always. Just...
Yeah. Kong looked... Oh, he looked so good.
It's the best they've done with Kong emotionally, too, like, bodywork-wise, since Peter
There was
Jackson's.
a couple parts where he got up in the morning and walked and scratched his ass. I'm like, really?
I'll take that, though, because it gives me that little Andy Serkis feel.
Yeah. But
did someone do mocap for him? Do we know?
I think so.
Someone had to, because there was some...
Yeah. This movie, to me, it should have been Kong versus Godzilla instead of Godzilla versus Kong, because this was definitely a Kong movie.
Yes.
Godzilla felt like he was like the special guest star.
Yeah.
But he was a kick-ass special guest star.
That's probably something to do with Toho, though, probably, right? Getting the rights to Godzilla.
The fight scenes in this movie, right from the very first fight scene you get to see in the trailers on the ship, it was awesome. They did such a good job with that. The whole ship fight scene was great. The underwater fight scene was good because Kong was about to drown. Mm-hmm. You gotta remember, Godzilla, water doesn't bother him.
Not much.
Kong, water bothers him. So, but you get to see that. Another fight scene was when they were running through like the middle world. It was called Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
And he gets to fight these two flying, like,
they were snake birds, snake
whatever. He just absolutely slammed one down on the ground, pulled its head across the rock, split him wide open, and then he grabs this other one. He rips the head off, and he drinks the contents of the skull. Mm-hmm. And that was so awesome. Everybody in the ship were like, "Oh, that's disgusting."
Yeah, the Tron ship things.
Yeah, those.
Yeah. It had its, yeah.
So we're talking about the good stuff right now. So again, the fight scenes were fantastic. The CGI, for the most part, was really good. There was a couple parts
where most of it is.
Yeah,
CG.
There was a couple parts you could tell was CGI, but it didn't take me out of the film at all. No. The worlds you get to visit, what is it called again? Hollow Earth. Beautiful. Was awesome. The whole anti-gravity, gravity field thing there, that was cool. But
world below, like you see, it's almost a reflection of the world on top, below.
It's almost like, you flip it. Like
it's Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
Kind of
and then when they finally got to Kong's
temple,
his family, the old, I don't know what they're all called, Kongs?
Temple of the Kongs.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And you saw how big that place is, because he looked like a little friggin' ant in that place.
Yeah, which tells me, is he getting bigger, maybe? Does he get much bigger? Like, can he get bigger?
Can't get much bigger.
I don't know.
Then you'd have to make Godzilla bigger in the next movie, because they're going to come back.
Of course.
But that was pretty cool. The connection of Kong and that little girl, Gia, that was kind of cool. I actually had a couple sad moments.
Yeah, they got close to
they never told you how she learned how to sign language with him. That kind of was different.
Well, I mean, it's also based in reality. We have the one gorilla there could sign like complete conversations.
Yeah. But they've only been there like a year or two, they said.
Yeah, but they say that they see him all, and I think he understands a little what they're talking. But remember, all he says is what, home, right?
Yeah.
And she's just picking up emotions on the other.
Yeah, because she's deaf, so she can't hear anything, but she can feel the low tones, and she could also. Prior to the ship fight there, she had her hand on the hull of the ship, and she knew something was coming before even the ship, which is a modern 2021 American aircraft carrier, knew that Godzilla was coming. So that story was good with them. The last battle between Godzilla and Kong was awesome.
I said when I did mine, the only thing I was missing was Bruce Buffer in the middle of it going, in the blue corner.
But Godzilla actually completely wasted Kong.
Kong was already beat up a little, so give him some slack.
So it wasn't Godzilla.
Yeah, but he's a nuclear lizard.
Yeah, but Godzilla
Round
proved
2.
who's the boss.
Round 2.
Yeah, he lost every round in the movie.
Right, well, fight number 2.
Yeah, but Godzilla proved how much of a badass he is in this movie. He kicked Godzilla.
And they were right. They said they'd give you a definitive winner, and they did.
He kicked Kong's ass throughout this movie. But he's pretty beat up at the end, Godzilla. And then you get to see Mechagodzilla come out of the mountain. Which looked alright. I didn't like the long arms that they did on him.
I didn't mind the long arms. The face was what threw me off.
It was the arms that threw me off on
The
it.
head didn't look as much like Godzilla. I feel like the head on the old original Mechagodzilla looked better. They had that more...
Well, the original Mechagodzilla looked better, period.
Yeah, well, not this one. Really.
Oh, I think so. I think it looked better. If you would have brought a more modern version of that design...
Oh, yeah.
Instead of all these missiles and all that stuff built into this stuff, it's just...
Well, you got to do overkill.
Yeah, well, they did overkill on the Mechagodzilla. But Mechagodzilla started to kick Godzilla's ass, and I was about to kill him. Because you got Kong over there resting from his beating he just took from Godzilla. And he's starting to, I guess he's dying.
And they give him a massive shot of...
Yeah, and they take one of their little ships that they have that they flew through Earth with, landed on his chest and pretty much defibrillated him with this ship. They had to explode and take the electrical shock into his chest, which was like, okay, whatever.
And he just woke up roaring and ready.
And he woke up, he had a dislocated shoulder, he snapped it back in. That was actually kind of cool, because that's what you would do.
Yeah, that's why I like Kong so much.
And the axe. I forgot the axe that he takes from his home world. And he commences to...
He did better against Mechagodzilla than against regular Godzilla.
Yeah, which made no sense.
Well, he was also,
Gacked up on steroids from electrical power.
Yeah. Like The Rock.
Yeah, so Godzilla helps him out a little, but Godzilla's pretty beat up. Oh, before we get to that, that last fight with Godzilla and Kong, Godzilla's beating the crap out of him, cutting his chest up, and just takes and puts his foot on Kong's chest, and just puts it and just crushes down. He's like, "You're nothing. I'm Godzilla. I'm the king of the monsters. You might be King Kong, but I'm the king of the monsters." He just has his foot on his chest, and Kong can't do anything about it.
They kept to their guns with Kong, though. Like, even when he gets back up, he was going to go fight again and falls. Yeah. He still gets back up to fight, because that whole line of Kong bows to no one. Like,
yeah.
And you see King of the Monsters. If Godzilla, or apparently in this monster pantheon, you beat somebody, you bow, because you see King of the Monsters, Rodan and all them bow. Yeah, and that's my one thing. Where'd all them go?
Well, yeah, that's another thing, but...
Like, my thing is, if he's King of the Monsters, couldn't he be getting, like, them to rally?
But Kong got his ass kicked in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big time. So, in the last battle with Mechagodzilla, Kong and Godzilla helps him for a bit, but he's just so weak. Kong actually takes the axe and just severs his arms, severs his leg, and the best thing about it, he does what he did in one of the... what movie was it? Where he grabs his head and just pulls the head and spinal cord right out and holds it up. And that was awesome. And
a Predator move almost.
And at the end, you got Godzilla and Kong kind of look at each other, and Kong realizes, okay, Godzilla's not a bad guy. And you almost see Godzilla look at Kong and be like, yeah, you're okay. But he turns away and just walks away from Kong like, yeah, you're nothing. I can still kick your ass if I want to. I love Godzilla in this movie. Yeah, I love King Kong. I've been a King Kong fan since I was a little kid, but Godzilla in this movie was fantastic. And he looked great. Let's see. Now the bad. The story. Granted, none of us went to this movie or saw it on HBO Max to see any Oscar-winning story of any type. But the story was not good. I mean, you really have two stories. You have the Kong humans and you have the Godzilla humans. The Kong humans were actually... That story wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. They're trying to help Kong help them beat Godzilla. But then they get diverted where they have to go back to the Hollow Earth, and that's where they find Kong's temple or whatever it is. and they actually start feeling for Kong, and Kong actually starts feeling for them. But man, that Godzilla storyline, that was bad. The Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things.
Fire Fist and 11 weren't that great.
Yeah. So you have Millie Bobby Brown. If you don't know her, she's from Stranger Things as 11. She was bad.
I don't think she was just... Her whole story was not...
Then you had Julian Dennison, who played...
Fire Fist.
Fire Fist in Deadpool 2. I'm not a big fan of him anyways. I didn't think he was great in that movie. He wasn't good in this movie. The story for Godzilla, the human side, was bad. It made no sense.
There's a lot... I could talk longer about the cons just because there's...
It was a better story.
It's just...
The whole Godzilla human story actually kind of started taking me out of the movie. I was actually hoping when they got in the ship there, and they're going through, I was hoping some monster destroyed the ship.
Once they got there, it was fine. The stuff getting there, I was just like, oh, now you have ships that can travel at that speed through Earth with no problem. Because didn't the first Godzilla take place in, like, almost real-life America? Mm-hmm. So since Godzilla 2014, that event in that movie happened.
It's like, we've traveled, like, 300 years into future for sci-fi
cars that can go through the Earth.
But again, we're not, we weren't expecting a Oscar-winning performance.
But it's also a giant ape and a nuclear lizard.
Yeah.
And
but, I mean, the one guy there on the Kong side there, he was okay.
The Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård. He was actually bad.
20 of them.
Yeah, and the mother of the deaf girl, she was okay.
Mother must be adopted, right? Because she was part of the indigenous people that apparently are all dead.
Yeah.
From Kong Skull Island, I guess. So every time I think of Kong Skull Island, though, I still think of that opening scene of Peter Jackson's King Kong, which was actually pretty cool. When they get to the island and all of them are like cannibals there and stuff.
Yeah. But,
And Kyle Chandler. I forgot he was in the movie.
Yeah.
About an hour into the movie, I forgot he was there. And he literally had nothing to do in that movie except for answer a phone call and talk to Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Yeah, the human story was not good.
But that's not what I came there for, and I had so much fun.
I came there to watch Godzilla and Kong fight, and then kill other monsters, beat the crap out of each other, and fight Mechagodzilla at the end. That's what I went there for.
Yeah, and they gave me it.
And I got all that.
And so far, HBO Max 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Snyder's Justice League and this. Yeah. And you get Mortal Kombat in a month, which the
end of this month.
No, I thought that was April. Wait, no, I think they pushed it to May.
They pushed it to the last week of April.
Either way.
So, I mean, this movie definitely left the door open for number 2, though.
Oh, one thing they've done really well in all these films is make a world. There's a world. There's a pantheon of titans and kaiju. We know where we are.
So, it definitely left that door open. Yeah, and like you said, HBO Max this month, the last 3 weeks, Justice League Snyder Cut, and Godzilla vs. Kong. Those have been 2 good movies.
Mortal Kombat at the end.
And one thing, HBO Max actually wants Warner Brothers to finish Zack Snyder's Justice League run. They want those 2 more movies, so hopefully they do it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is,
of
but
money,
it is. But HBO has the money.
Back.
No, they will. HBO has the money to pull that crap, though.
Because you'd have to get,
they will. It might not be in the next year or 2.
No, it'd be years, because Gal Gadot's going to do Wonder Woman 3, and then do...
But they do. I bet they would do both shoots at the same time.
I'd even take an animated thing if they had to at this point, just to finish it.
But, so, I would end up giving this movie 7.5. I think that's a fair score. First time I saw it, I actually lowered it. I was down to about a 7. I'm at a 7.5. What do you think?
I think I hover about the same. If I'm in a good mood, probably an 8, just because it's when it needs to be what it is. Yeah. It is perfect at being what it needs to be.
Yep.
Fun.
All right, guys. That's our movie TV talk for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like it, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Share it. Look him up on YouTube, Jared Van Gelder. He has his little channel going. Friday is my comic collecting video. I got comics. I got some Batman toys. And the following week, next Sunday, we'll have another movie TV talk. I'm also starting up a second channel. It's going to be called Funky Foods with Funky Sloth. There's going to be hot foods, spicy foods, sour foods, nasty foods. And he's going to be doing it. We just filmed the Bean Boozled Nasty Jelly Bean one. Oh, God, it was disgusting. All right, guys. Have a good night. Happy Easter. Got anything to say?
Stay safe. Happy Easter.
All right, guys. Have a good night.